Sponsors. Ahoy there, YouTube! We're back again today for more of our Gencon Bonanza Explosion blog coverage. We are live at Gencon 2017. Thanks in part to all of our amazing Kickstarter backers who helped send us here. Thank you so much. And our amazing sponsors like Medieval Lords, who has Black Souls, coming to Kickstarter a little bit later this year. Bleem Games, who's going to be redoing Dark Mages a little bit later this year. And Tasty Minstrel Games, who sponsors everything we do. But right now, we are at the IDW Games booth with Jesse, who's one of the co-creators of The Legend of Korra. So, hey Jesse, what is this?
So Legend of Korra is a pro-bending board game. We took the pro-bending sport from the animated series, happens in the first few episodes of the first season of Korra, and we put it on your living room table so you can get into an intense head-to-head match with your friends. Yeah, get a look at those sick miniatures. I mean, the sculptor did a fantastic job at capturing really high-action, awesome poses. But this is more than just some cool miniatures on the table. We've got a really great game here, too. You want me? I can just keep telling you about it.
Yeah. Fill us in.
All right. So what the goal of the game is just like in pro bending in the show, you want to take your opponent's benders and you want to knock them off the back of the arena. And the way you do that is you'll be putting elemental tokens in the spaces of their benders. Then they're going to get a turn, a chance to respond to your attacks. They might get out of the way, or they might be able to block some, or they might throw some of their own elemental tokens in that space, and they'll cancel each other out one-to-one. Then any token that are left in their bender space at the end of their turn will hit them. Each token is one row that gets knocked back, which means it only takes 3 tokens off the start of the game to take out a bender. So even one token is a credible threat. Everything you do is meaningful. The way that you play this game is we've got a light deck building system layered on top of that basic idea. So you start with a 6-card deck, 2 cards per bender in your deck. You draw 3 on your turn, and you just play each of your cards. When you play a card, you do the icons on the card from top to bottom. So here you got a block. Bullen does a block and then 2 1-power attacks with 1 range. After you play all of your cards, another cool thing about this too is you get this movement icon, which allows you to move your bender. Sorry, I said allows, but requires you to move your bender left or right 1 space. You can never move across these lines. So you move, but movement is mandatory, which means sometimes movement gets you out of trouble. And sometimes, depending on what your opponent's done, movement gets you into trouble. Gives you a little sense of the tactical play that goes on in this game.
And this is 2 players, correct?
This is a 2-player head-to-head game, that's right. And we're just about at the end of the turn. As soon as you finish playing your cards, then you're going to go to the market phase. So you have a little market here. It's a unique market. It's just yours. Your opponent's got a different one with their own sets of cards. You can spend chi that you've earned through the game, which you get 1 a turn. You also can discard a card on your turn to gain chi. Pay the cost in the top right-hand corner of the card. You take that new awesome card and you put it right on top of your deck.
Oh, nice.
Then you draw a hand of 3. Now, this is 2 cool things. 1, it means that those new cards that you just bought that are awesome and exciting are going directly into your hand. But it also means that if you're playing against an astute opponent, they know one of the 3 cards that's in your hand right now. And they might be able to play around it or at least take it into account as they play out their turn and respond to what you've done. That is the basics of it. The gameplay goes back and forth, so my elemental tokens that I put on the board take effect at the end of my opponent's turn. Then the tokens they put on the board take effect at the end of my turn. So you always get a chance to respond to everything your opponent does. And then you knock people back. If you knock them off the ends, you win. If you push and open a space, your whole team advances in. You get a line advance if you create a void. And this can create huge shifts in momentum and exciting upsets. So there's always room for big exciting things to happen.
And this is coming to Kickstarter?
It is coming to Kickstarter on September 6th. And there's just a couple other things because I know you're all huge board game fans out there. So if you're playing this game with your friends and you think, you know what, I'd really like to get a bit more depth. And we've got that for you in the game box, in the core box, as well as with some exciting stuff coming through the Kickstarter. These decks, the ones that provide you the more powerful cards throughout the game, are customizable. Each bender's got a unique set of cards available to them, and the game box comes with duplicates. So you can change the distributions of their abilities in these decks, allowing you to customize how your benders are going to play throughout the game. We also have tricks, which we don't demo with because they're a little bit complicated. So you get the gist of the game, you get it, and then you add tricks. Each team gets 3 tricks. Tricks are once per turn, really powerful effects.
Now, are these for kids?
No, these tricks are not for kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just clarifying.
This is a good question. These are once per turn really powerful effects. So not only do you have to pick which 3 tricks you're going to use, there's 16 in the core box, but then during the game you're going to have to decide, is now the right time to do it. Finally, the Kickstarter is going to include 4 more teams. If you guys get a chance to get some footage, we've got sculpts for all of the teams. Yeah, we just walk right on over there. We've got sculpts for all of the teams in the glass case here. You can see those awesome poses. Like I said, the sculptor did a fantastic job. There's a guy in the back, fire guy in the back there doing what must be a dragon punch. So we've got unique team mechanics and unique decks for each of these benders and teams that will come out as part of the Kickstarter. And just to add yet another layer of customizability, you'll be able to make fantasy teams. So just pick 3 benders, no matter where they come from, put them together on a team, make it your own.
Very, very cool. So if you're browsing Kickstarter in September, definitely going to want to check this one out. If they're more interested in it before the Kickstarter, where can we send them?
IDW Games on Facebook or Twitter would be a great place to start.
All right, thank you very much, Jesse. So that is the Legend of Korra Pro Bending Arena coming out later this year, or being Kickstarted later this year. If it looks like it might be a cup of tea, be sure to check that one out. If you're enjoying this Gen Con coverage, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below. In the comments below, let me know, what's your favorite boy band?
What's my favorite boy band? Oh, man. I mean,
think about it a second.
No. I'm gonna go with NSYNC.
NSYNC. See, if I'm going for quantity, I'm gonna go with NSYNC. But if I'm going with quality, I'm an LFO man. I really like LFO, you know. But let me know in the comments below. Who's your favorite boy band? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.